Hey guys, what's up? This is Francisco with Valorizo Capital, and today I'm gonna do the trade review of the week, and I'm gonna go with Adobe. It was a pretty small trade, one in which I took profits way early that I was intending to, but of course the market conditions uh, suggested that I should take the profits the day that I did, and it was the right call, the right decision to make. So in this video, I'm gonna go through the reasoning of why I took the trade, where was my entry, where was my stop, which was my target, and why do I took the profits way earlier than I thought. And I'm gonna go through the through the reasoning of what I did, looking at the Nasdaq Composite as my guide for to guiding my trade in Adobe. So first of all, let's start with with the setup. So here is Adobe. As you can see, Adobe is in a clear downtrend, and the reason that I decided to take a trade which was counter trend of the bearish trend in Adobe is that we had, as we can see here, right? As we can see here in Adobe, had a pretty intense move to the downside as soon as Adobe broke this 50 daily moving average, which is the purple line right here. And as you can see, Adobe traded pretty intensely below a declining 8 exponential moving average and below a declining 21 exponential moving average. And of course, you can see the trend was pretty established to the downside. In the wrap momentum, we can see the red line that suggests that the majority of the pressure is in the favor of the bears. And we can see that we were coming out of a squeeze with a sell signal right here, and we had a pretty strong move in volume in this day right here, below the 50 daily moving average and below the 8 and the 21 exponential moving averages. Of course, we had earnings, and we had a little pop in earnings into a declining 8, and then we just continued to move to the downside. So why I decided to take this trade that was counter trend in Adobe was because it was the first close of Adobe. As you can see in this day right here, it was the first close above a declining 21 exponential moving average. And you can see that we had an active buy signal in the RAV indicator, and I also had a squeeze that was pointing to the upside. And most importantly, I got my trigger, which is the daily close above that 21 exponential moving average, which is the blue line right here. And I also had my transition from bearish momentum into neutral momentum and then into bullish momentum in my indicators. So my entry was right here in the 13. I traded these via put credit spreads, and I'm just gonna in just a second I'm gonna show you the side trade that I took. But let's just continue with the setup right here. I took my entry right here on the 31st of January in that daily close above the 21 exponential moving average. And my original target for this trade was a move up here to close this gap that we had in price. That was my original target. So now the reason that I took my profits on this day right here was because of what was happening in the overall market. So let's take a look at the ISIC for more information. So as you can see, the ISIC, which is the Nasdaq Composite, had been on a rally for 4 straight days, and we were coming into a 0618 Fibonacci retracement measured from this high right here into this low right here, which was the follow through day. So the thing with taking profits on this day was when we had a market that is coming from an oversold bounce and has 4 days straight to the upside, and most importantly that we gap into the 4 day that, as we can see here, there's usually an indication that there's a high probability that traders and investors are just going to take profits into that day. So that's what I decided to do with Adobe, and I decided to take profits on the gap up in this day right here, which was February 2nd. and it resulted to be the right call because the next day Adobe got pretty intensely to the downside, and it just continued to move into the bearish side, which is below this declining 21 exponential moving average. And right now we have an active sell signal, which some buying exhaustion signals. And also, if we take a look at the squeeze, we can see that the squeeze is already pointing to the downside. So I think right now that Adobe is more of a bearish candidate than a bullish candidate for my system. So now let's take a look at the actual trade that I took. Let me just go here. Here is, as you can see, I wanted to scale in slowly into this position, but of course, since the market is moving pretty fast, I wasn't able to get into a full position. So I was able to open, as you can see here on January 31st, I was able to open 5 contracts. I was able to sell the contracts, right? I was trading a 525 to 520 put credit spread, and I was able to open this one for a credit of $220. And then I decided just to take the profits and run, and I closed my trade 2 days later for a credit of for a debit of 160. So as we can see here in the trade, the final results for the trade. Let me just give me a second here. The final results for the trade was a profit of approximately $300 and a return of 27.27%. So it was not a bad trade. Of course, I was looking for a little bit more, but since we are in a market that is moving pretty fast, especially we're trying to do counter trend trades, it's really important that as soon as we have our profits, it's better to take them, right? So of course the profits that I had in the trade were not the ones that I was expecting, but it's better to take those profits instead of then sitting in what should be now a losing position in Adobe. So that's basically what I have with you guys. The If you have any questions about the trade, just leave me a comment. We can discuss. But remember, the setups that I'm looking for, I'm just looking for a squeeze. I'm just looking to get my position as close to the 21 exponential moving average as possible. And then I'm just using my RAV indicator and momentum indicators to select a side. And right now, what my indicator is telling me that the side right now that has a higher probability of winning is to the downside. If you want to check any more of my videos, I have some other trade reviews in the SPY and also in Apple. And I also have my weekly watch list already uploaded into my channel. So take a look at it, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you so much for your support. Have a good one.